Hello everyone, my name is Deepak and I'm a tax code advisor. I want to invite you guys to our Wealth Summit. So Sanjeev Gupta CPA and I will be at the Wealth Summit on November 10th, whole day long from 8 a.m. in the morning till 8 p.m., answering all of your tax questions, sharing some of the insights from the financial world, from the real estate world, for tax updates, from the election updates. What do we need to do to plan out 2025 and what do we need to do to end 2024 in the most tax efficient manner possible? So let me talk about some of the things that we'll be talking about at this Wealth Summit. I mean, just like every year, obviously, we're going to talk about what are some of the tax policies that are expiring this year, what is going to come next year, how do you plan for this year, how do you plan for next year, how do you deal with estate planning, how do you deal with financial planning. I think you guys are familiar with all those topics, right? But what are we doing new this year? That's what I want to talk to you about. So, number one thing, I think there will be a heavy emphasis on things that you can do with real estate. That is going to be absolutely the major theme of this wealth summit. So number one, in real estate, right now I am giving an option for any one of you guys to request a zip code that you like, and we will provide you a free market report for that area. Meaning, how the income growth look like, how the poverty levels look like, how the inventory of houses looks like, what kind of growth opportunities are there. You can request that for absolutely free. So there's going to be a link right here below this video. Go ahead and put your zip code. You will get that data at the Wealth Summit absolutely free. And not just them, you'll get the data for all the other zip codes that everybody else has requested. Imagine that. I think that report alone is probably worth 400 or 500 bucks because it will make you such a smarter investor before you make a move. If you understand the market, I think it will help you out a lot. That's number one. Number two, ADUs are a big theme this year. Everybody's adding ADUs in California. I mean, both. I guess it's a good and bad thing. Some people are complaining about it. Some people are loving about it. But we're going to make ADUs a heavy topic at the Wealth Summit. How do you set one up? What kind of permits do you need? How do you? What kind of cost is involved? How much can you rent it out for? What kind of tax benefits can you get it out of? And then how can you involve your family with ADUs? So I'll give you an example. Is it possible that you built out an ADU and perhaps sell it to your parents? Is that possible? And maybe your parents buy it in a self-directed IRA to generate a tax-free income for themselves because they can rent it on short-term rental, and perhaps that can turn into a nice little income for them during retirement years. Or maybe you do that for yourself. Is there a strategy? How do you execute it? We'll talk about that. How many ADUs can you build? What other options are available in California? If you're thinking about buying an investment property, how should you think about all of these strategies so you maximize the results? Should you put a property on short-term rental, long-term rental, mid-term rental? What are the advantages, disadvantages? What are some of the tax implications? We'll be talking about all of that. Second thing you will see is seniors. So I think the government is changing some laws where seniors will get some benefit next year. So I mean, I'm not going to go into all of those because that will become a big topic for Wealth Summit. But one thing I do want to point out is in the month of November, if you have a parent in the United States, you need to take certain actions. And if you do those actions, you will qualify for some credit. Well, when I say you, I mean your parents will qualify for those credits. Or perhaps if you're a senior yourself, then you should look into those matters as well, so you can get some good tax advantages next year as well. So those are some of the things that we'll be talking about at the Wealth Summit this year that we have never talked about. So if you have seniors living with you, or if you are becoming a senior yourself, I would strongly urge you to come to the Wealth Summit, learn about those strategies. Number three, education. We are sending our kids to really good schools, and we need to figure out how to get some leverage, some discount on their education. That's going to be another topic this year at the Wealth Summit. One thing we have never really discussed in the past is oil and gas. So this year we have a special guest coming into the Wealth Summit who will be talking about oil and gas in greater detail. So that's another topic that you'll see different in this Wealth Summit. Another one that I can tell you is concentrated portfolios. A lot of you guys are heavily concentrated in some of these big tech companies like Nvidia and Google and Microsoft and all that. What can you do to make these portfolios tax efficient? How can you get extra 2 or 3% out of your portfolios? To talk about all that stuff, we would have a licensed finance professional coming there, and he will talk about some of the strategies he uses to help clients with that kind of stuff. So that's another thing that's going to be different at this year Wealth Summit. And there are a lot of I guess small things, but each small thing adds up. So I don't want to make this video a 2 hour long because I think you should really come to Wealth Summit and learn about all of those strategies. But I will strongly urge you to please consider it. It's a full day program from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sanjeev and I work very hard to bring this to all of you guys. Sanjeev is probably, preparing a slide, and I'm here sharing all this information with you guys right now because we want you to be there. We want you to be there to learn and execute these strategies in 2024. Every year we used to do it in December. A lot of you guys came back and say, hey, let's do it in November. So that way we still have some time to take advantage of it in the current year. So that's why we're doing it in November. We have, I think, maybe 50 spots available at this point. I think the room is about 500 people, if I'm not wrong. It's mostly booked, so only few seats left. But I strongly want to encourage you to go ahead and book in advance because then a lot of you guys just show up at the last minute at the Wealth Summit. We don't have any chairs. Then we have to request the management people to just add some extra chairs. But it doesn't really look that good because there's just not enough room. But we don't want to send people home either. If they came all the way there and they want to learn about all this stuff, then we want to accommodate them it anyway as we can. But in addition to that, we have lots of prizes, so you guys will keep you entertained. We'll keep it fun. Every hour we'll be giving away something, so I think that would be fun for everybody. And we will have plenty of Q&A session at evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We just open up a floor and make it live Q&A session, so you guys get to ask all of your questions. I think that will be a lot of fun. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy that quite a bit. And if you don't mind, share this video with your friends, family members. Tell them about the Wealth Summit. Ask them to come. Share the joy. We have a discount right now if you buy more than one ticket. Take advantage of that and share it with somebody else. It's just so much fun when you come with somebody else. I also want to point out we do have a special tickets for students. So if you're going to college right now, and I student, I mean youngsters, right? So please, if you're 30, 40-year old and you still going to college for your master's, that's not the intent is that our youngsters get to learn all this information as well. So I'm not expecting a whole lot of them, but if we can get 15, 20 youngsters to come there and learn these strategies, I think they will become so much more financially successful in their life, and they will share that knowledge with their friends and family members. That's the intent. So please, if you have a son or daughter going to college right now, please invite them to come to Wealth Summit. I think they will benefit the most because they have the most time. They can learn these techniques and execute them in their lifespan. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I'll see you at the Wealth Summit this Sunday, and obviously I'm going to leave you a very special discount code with this video so you get to register right away. I'll see you soon.